So as we know that in last class, I taught you what is the advantage of sexual reproduction and as well as why the amount of DNA does not get doubled during sexual reproduction and as well as how the sexual reproduction will take place in animals. Is it yes? So now what is the steps involving in the sexual reproduction in animals? Can anyone say? The first step involving is what? First one is what, guys? That is a male parents will produce what? A male parent produces what, guys? So
Sperms.
parent produces male gametes, which we used to call as sperms. So
Sperms.
these sperm, yes, which is a very small cell with a long tail. The tail is only we used to call it as what? Flagellum. So this flagellum which help for sperm to move inside the female reproductive system. That is what we can say for movement. Next, the second step in the reproduction in animals is what it is. Female parent will produce what?
Ovium.
Parent will produce female gametes. That is what we used to call as ova, or we can say egg. So now, ova or eggs we can say. So now this ovum is much bigger cell than the sperm and which is having a lot of cytoplasm. So now third point, what will happen? The male gamete means the sperm enters into the female gamete called as ovum and both will fuse and they will form a single cell called as a fused cell.
Zygote.
Which is called as zygote. Yes, that is what. So this process is only we used to call it as what? This process is called
Fertilization.
Fertilization. So this is what we have studied in the last class. So these zygote, that is what a fertilized ovum egg, then it will divide again and again to form a large number of cells which is remains together, and this is what the growth and development of zygote only will give you what? Growth and development of zygote is only gives you what? New baby will produce. That is what it is. Yes. So for anything, the whole process of sexual reproduction in animals involves in the formation of sperms and eggs. Next one, joining together of sperm and egg to form zygote, and the growth and development of zygote to form a baby animal. That is what the complete process involving in sexual reproduction in animals. So now if you take here the complex multicellular animals like human beings, they are having a special reproductive systems. That is what we used to call it as like special reproductive organs to make eggs and as well as to make sperms. So to bring together sperms and eggs for fertilization, the growth and development of zygote into a baby, we have to study that the human reproductive system will be activate at the certain period. That is what we used to call as puberty period. So at every age, this production of eggs and sperms is not possible. So that is what, if you want to study the human reproductive system individually, so we are having different reproductive systems for producing sperms and as well as eggs. So first of all, we should understand what is the meaning of puberty period, and later we can study what is the types of reproductive systems present in human beings. So first of all, in our today's class, we are going to see the first concept is puberty. So you might be already studied what do you mean by puberty period, and let us see in detail. We'll study what is puberty. Is it okay? So now, first of all, you see, when a baby is, for example, you might be seeing our neighbors and all, those who are having a small baby, it might be very difficult to discriminate either it is a boy or girl. Have you noticed it? When they are a very child, it's like a child, it is very difficult to discriminate either a boy or girl. Is it yes or no, guys? Please respond. You might be facing difficulty or not. Because boys also, when they are in kids, they are similar to the girls because of long hair and all, etc., etc. And even girls also looks like a boys. If you are not, I'm not saying, if you'll see suddenly when a child is a very small, you people will facing that problem or not? Please respond. It becomes very difficult to tell. Is it yes, guys? But based upon the appearance,
Yes, sir.
yes. Not
Yes,
all
sir.
I'm saying. Some of you can easily guess, but most of the cases you can see when you will see a very small baby, then by appearance it is very difficult to say either it is a boy
Yes, sir.
or a girl. But you can see if once it is slowly grown up, then we can easily discriminate by observing some changes. So now let us comes to here. When if it is a small boy, a small baby, then you can see small boys and girls, they are having a same body shape. Yes or no? And the time of birth, if you'll notice it, they are having a similar body shape and as well as body structure. So that is why it is very difficult to identify either a boy or a girl. But you can see a time of rapid growth and the body changes starts in the early teen, and which will makes the boy and the girl appears different, and also we can observe that behaves differently. So when they are keep on growing at the age of, you can notice it 12 or else 10 after, most probably you might be notice it. So easily we can identify them because we can notice a rapid growth in their body, and as well as a body also will start changes into the different kind of changes will appears in boys and as well as girls, so that also their behavior also will changes when they will come to teenage. So they will behave differently. So that by the time we can easily notice either they're a boy or they're girl. So these changes basically will start in girls usually earlier than in the boys. So whatever the changes which will start in this rapid growth and body changes, everything in the teenage, it will start first of all, girls only, it will much faster it will observe compared to the boys. That is what it is happening. So now if you'll see here, we can call the time between this childhood and the growth. That is what I'm saying. So when the time of a child, which we are unable to identify the boy or girl, to the what? We are easily identifying either a boy or girl. So like that we are able to identify. Here first case we are not able to identify, and we are able to identify here. So now this case which we are unable to identify either a boy or girl, because the appearance is same. So this is only we used to call it as childhood. What we used to call it, guys? Childhood we used to call it as. Now, where the rapid growth of body will take place and as well as they will behave differently, which we can easily segregate either he is a boy or girl, we can identify. That is we used to call it as, it is teenage. So that is only we used to call it as adulthood. What we used to call it, guys? Adulthood. So now from the child age to adulthood, that age is only we used to call the period of time only we used to call it as. What is that called as, guys? Adolescence. What we used to call? Adolescence we used to say. So please remember that. So very important. So the time between the childhood and adulthood is only called as adolescence. So now if you'll see here, in this phase only, the production of male and female sex hormones in the bodies of boys and girls increases dramatically at this stage and causes wide-ranging changes in their bodies. That is what it is happening during this child age to the adulthood. The main problem which will start in the girls and as well as boys is, so the production of male and female sex hormones will start releasing in their bodies. So because of that, the rapid changes will take place in their body growth and as well as character changes, behaves in the sense of they will start behaving differently than in before. That is what is happening. So wide ranging changes in their bodies will take place. So that is what we can notice it. So if it comes to here, in the boys, if you'll notice it, the testis, it is what the plural form of it. Do you understand? So the testis, it is what in the boys, and as well as girls, it is in the form of ovaries make different hormones. Basically, this is what in girls and this is what in boys will make different hormones. So the boys and girls develop in different ways. So the different kind of growth we can observe. That is, I will say you now. So this is the thing which will happen from childhood to adulthood. So what is happening? So the sex hormones used to release by a different kind of thing, testis in boys and as well as ovaries in girls, so that they will develop in different ways. So if you'll notice it here, ultimately boys and girls become sexually mature and their reproductive systems starts functioning. So till this age, the reproductive systems won't be functioning. So once they will get the sex hormones will be activated, then only their reproductive systems will get activated, or else they will start functioning. So it will take the time. It is not by the childhood itself. So after getting the teenage only, the hormones will start releasing or secreted by reproductive systems of boys and as well as girls. Then only they will start functioning. Then only we can notice it, the maturity stage, or else we can say a character, they will start behaving differently, and as well as a rapid growth in their bodies we used to observe. So now if you notice it here, basically this is only we used to called as where the sex hormones begin to produce boys and as well as becomes because of this hormones release, they will become sexually mature. That is what we used to call as puberty period. So what do you mean by puberty, guys? Where simply if you want to say in 2 words, what do you mean by puberty period means where the stage where the boys and girls can produce the sex organs can produce sex hormones is only called as puberty period, we can say. So it will come at a particular age. That age period only we used to call as puberty period. So have you understand, guys? So means where they can get the capable of reproduce. That is what we used to call as boys and girls become sexually mature. Means in the sense of they can capable to reproduce. That is the period we used to call as puberty period. Do you understand, everyone? So this definition is also very important, and please all of you write it. The age at which, have you understand? Please respond. The age at which,
Yes, sir.
the age at which the sex hormones, what is another name of sex hormones? We used to call it as what? Or we can say gametes. Sex hormones or gametes begin to be produced, and the boy and the girl become sexually mature. Sexually mature. What do you mean by sexually mature, guys? Means able to reproduce. Do you understand? That is what sexually mature are able to reproduce. Reproduce is called puberty period. Yes, or still somebody is absent. So many, please inform them. Dina is not there. Check it here. Just inform them who is absent. This is what puberty. Have you understand, guys? Everyone. So now, as I told, puberty will start first in whom, guys? Boys or girls? It will start in basically
Girls.
Yeah, girls.
Girls.
Puberty first earlier in females only. Basically, it will take place not only in human beings, all the animals, all the species. So the puberty period tends to start earlier in females than in males, basically. So now if we take coming to the human beings, generally boys attain the puberty at the age of 13 to 14 years, but the girls will attain the puberty comparatively lower age than like 10 to 12 years itself. That is what you have to, the difference. The girls, it will take 10 to 12 years, and the boys, you can take, that is what a male, a boys, it will take 13 to 14 years. This is what the puberty is for the general. But it will take some time. For special cases, girls also, it will take even 13, 14 years also, maybe based upon their type of food, what they are eating, or else the environment, what they are living, what kind of food they are consuming. This all will influence. That is what nowadays you might be heard. Chinese food, fast foods, and all those who are consuming, they will get puberty age early than the actual age, because they all will influence. Oil food consumption will causes drastical changes in their body growth, and will leads to the hormone, what we can say, hormone imbalance and all. And the future they
Imbalance.
face lot of difficulties. That is what consumption of the food will also influence the sexual reproductive systems of both male and female bodies. So even if more than boys, it is female, it will influence more. So that is why the food which is taken by the female is always should be a matters in the sexual reproductive systems. It will influence, and it is damages the also. So it is very careful to take the consumption of food. We have to be very particular what kind of food we have to consume during our early ages. So if you take here, basically the boy will attain puberty at the age of 13 to 14 years, and girl will attain the age of 10 to 12 years. So on attaining this puberty, if you'll observe, the male gonads, we can say called as testes, they will start producing male gametes. That is what we used to call as sperms. And as well as female gonads, which we used to call as ovaries, they will start producing by female gametes. That is what we used to call as ova. Do you understand, everybody? So the male gametes, what we used to call as male gonads. So in this puberty period only, first time our reproductive system will start producing male gametes and as well as female gametes. So these male gonads, that is what we can say called as what we used to call testes, and they will start producing a male gametes called as sperms. And as well as if we'll take female gonads, what is female gonads we used to call as? The female gonads only we used to call as ovaries. Do you understand? So these ovaries, they will start producing female gametes. That is what we used to call as ova, or we can say eggs. This is what it will happen. So now if you'll observe here, these producing this the sex cells or else gametes, male and female gonads, they will also produce and they will secrete sex hormones with the one set of puberty period. That is along with this male and female gamete. So whether gametes, other name in gonads, both are same only. See, we can say produce sex cells also we can say gametes. But that name called as testis, we can say male gonads, and female this ovaries we used to call as female gonads. Okay, and the gametes, the producing cells, reproductive cells, we used to call as sex cells. That is what sperms and as well as eggs. This is only called as gametes. Also, we can say sex cells. Understand? So now, if you notice it here, basically, so along with this sex cells, that is what we used to call as sperms and as well as eggs. They will produce, understand, and they will secrete sex hormones with one set of puberty period. So that is what very important. So if you'll notice it here, basically the male gametes will produce sperms. Is it yes or no? So along with that, if you'll notice it here, the testes produce, that is what a male gonads. So this testis only will produce a male sex hormone. What is that? Can anyone say? So what is that hormone name? The male sex hormone called as, anyone please?
Testosterone.
Testosterone.
So it is used to produce testosterone. That is what the hormone which is used to produced by male gametes, and as well as if we take the ovaries, the female gametes. So ovaries used to produce the hormone.
Estrogen.
It is used to called as two hormones it is used to produce. One is
Estrogen.
yeah, estrogen. Understanding? So estrogen and as well as progesterone.
Progesterone.
So progesterone and estrogen they will produce. Estrogen, O is silent here. Remember, estrogen and progesterone we used to call as. So if you notice it here, See, producing male and female gametes is okay, but this producing these hormones also will play a very important role in the process of reproduction. Because if you take here, they make the reproductive organs to mature and start functioning. That is the importance of it. So you might be see after marriage or things, most of the girls they're having some kind of problems in the sexual reproductive systems, and that may not get conceived, may not get baby and all, because of this imbalance of hormones, may the eggs are not properly released, or else the size of the egg is may not be proper, so that the fertilization won't be takes place properly. So they used to facing a lot of difficulties. That is all will takes place a type of food which we people are consuming only. So what is the importance of these hormones? They will make the reproductive organs to mature and they will start functioning. That is the importance of hormones. Please write it. The importance of hormones is they will make the reproductive organs. They will make the reproductive organs. They will make the reproductive organs to mature and start functioning. Is it okay, guys? Completed, everybody? Now, please inform the absentees. Who is there? Hey, Pranav, have you called to Dena? So many is not there. See, check it. This is what it is. Start functioning. Clear, everybody? So now, if you notice it here, these puberty is only you can see where the reproductive organs reach maturity, and from there we can see the secondary sexual characteristics will develop. So what is this secondary sexual characteristics means? That is what a drastical growth in body parts, and as well as some changes will take place from small boys and girls. They have a same body shape, but if it comes to the puberty age, the different kind of changes will occurs in the boys and girls. That is what we used to say the secondary sexual characteristics. Okay, sexual characteristics will develop. So now let us see what kind of characteristics will develop in boys and as well as girls before going to study the reproductive system. So when if you are seeing any kind of boy or girl, as I told you on the early ages, so both are similar. It is very difficult to identify they are either they are a boy or girl because of a same body structure. Yes or no? So now if you notice it here, once they will attain the puberty period, so the secondary sexual characteristics will develop. So now what is the characteristics if you will observe in the boys, for example? So please all of you keep reading. Various changes occurs in boys, or else time of puberty period you can keep. The changes occurs in boys during puberty period. So if you take the puberty period, so puberty period in boys, how we can notice it? So the first of all, you remember, hair will start grow under armpit. What will grow? So hair will grow under armpit. So this is the first change which we can, if the boy will attain the puberty period, the hair will start growing under the armpits and as well as in public regions like for example, genital areas between between the thighs and all, it will start growing the hair. That is genital areas and as well as between the thighs, it will start growing the hair. Next, if you'll notice it here, hair also will start growing other parts of the body. Like if you'll notice it, like chest, somebody may get fast and somebody may not, and as well as face also. That is what we used to call it as. So chest and as well as face. So this is only face where what we used to get? We used to get mustache and as well as beard we used to get. This is what we used to, and also you can see some persons used to get the hair in ears also. That is what we can say, etc., etc. So it is used to grow in the ears also, it will start growing. So that is what it is. So next, also you can see this is the first change which we used to observe. A boy can get attains a puberty period. These are the first secondary sexual characteristics which we used to observe. So hair will grow under armpits and as well as in public regions between the thighs. Next, hair will grow on the other parts of the body like chest and as well as face, means in the sense of face we used to attain mustache, beard, etc. So now next one, second point, if you'll notice it, so till at the baby stage, there is no much difference between the boy and the girl. Once the boy will attain the puberty period, a body becomes more muscular due to the development of muscles. That is the second point. Please write it. Becomes muscular, more muscular due to the development of muscles. Next, second point completed. Next point, third point. So if you notice it, for example, till at early ages and all, our voice may be said something, but if you are getting to the puberty age, suddenly our voice will start changes. Yes or no, guys? Have you noticed it? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, guys?
Yes, sir.
That is. So Nitish, are you there in meeting? Somebody informed to Nitish, maybe Nitish forgot today. Nitish, are you there? Nitish is there, yes. Okay. So if you notice it, that is what the second one, which we used to say, the voice will start become deepens or it will start cracks. So suddenly our voice will start changes from childhood to the adolescence. That is what we can say. The voice will become, our voice box will develop. That is what we can say. Our voice will deepens. That is what we can say, cracks. Okay. So next, fourth point. Chest and shoulders will start broaden, means in the sense of the size of the chest and as well as shoulders, means growth of shoulders and chest will take place. So these all are the points. Next one, and the penis and the testes become larger in size. See, this is the plural form of testis. Actually, the testis means single one. So one set of testis will be there. So this is the usually we used to call it as singular form. This is the plural form of testis. TES we used to say. That is what I am writing every time, testis. Remember. Next one, what it is, sixth point. The testis will start making sperms. Next, seventh point, feelings and sexual drives associated with the adulthood begin to develop. Associated with adulthood begin to develop. So these are the changes which will take place when a boy attains a puberty age. Okay, and here you remember, so these changes in boys brought about by only one hormone. What is that hormone? The hormone, very important. This all the changes will take place in boys because of one hormone. What is that sex hormone name called as? That is testosterone made in testes. That is okay. Testosterone made by testes. So this is, so next, changes occurs in girls at puberty, or else changes attains by a girl at puberty age. Puberty in girls. So now, first of all, if you'll see here, this is also same thing. The hair will start growing armpits and as well as public regions. That is what this change is same as in boys also. hair growth. Okay. Next, mammary glands will develop and they will start enlarge. That is the second point. Mammary glands develop and they will start enlarge. Next, the hips will start broaden. That is what will happen. Hip size will start increases at this puberty age only. Next, extra fat is deposited in various parts of the body, like in the sense of thighs and as well as hips. This is also will take place in the puberty period only. Are you noted down? See, everything will come for 3 more questions. By the time you have to write it everything clearly. Okay, so and also remember this mammary glands only we used to call it as breast, we can say. Next change we used to observe. So these fallopian tubes, that is what we used to say ovaries. So in fallopian tubes, usually they will start enlarging in size, and as well as uterus and as well as vagina. This all the sizes will start enlarged and ovaries will start releasing the eggs. So that is why menstruation, that is monthly periods, will start at this puberty period only. So that is the fifth change which we used to observe in a puberty is in girls. Fallopian tubes, uterus and enlarge, ovaries will start producing eggs. So that what is happening? Menstruation cycle will start. Okay. Next, if you'll see, again, like gents, the feelings and sexual drives associated with adulthood will begin to develop. So all these changes only will brought about by the female sex hormones. That is what we used to call as, what is that called as? All these changes will take place by estrogen and as well as progesterone. These are the hormones which will help to causes all the changes will occurs in all the changes occurs in boys and as well as girls. So these hormones will releases by whom, guys? Estrogen and progesterone is made in ovaries only. Where it will be making? Ovaries. So these are the hormones. Remember, we used to call it as estrogen. Also we can write, we can speak as O is silent, as I said. We used to call it as estrogen. We should not say ostrogen. Writing spelling is this one, but pronunciation is estrogen, we can say. So this is what is puberty and what kind of changes will occur in male and female. So now meeting is going to end, rejoin back and we'll start human reproductive system. That is what the male reproductive system for our today's class. Have you understand everything clearly? Puberty, Karthikeyan? That is, please write it. So this hormones names is very important.